guys, how are we going? Look, I've headed off pretty early this morning and it's going to be a cracking weekend, and a big weekend too, just quietly, because I'm heading off for Wonnangatta, and this is going to be the weekend. It's the 100-year anniversary of those two unsolved murders that happened way back in 1918 with Jim Barclay and John Bamford. So I'm going to be really excited to see where this weekend goes. It's going to be very interesting. All sorts of things going to go on with talks and history talks about what happened way back in those days. And I'm always pretty interested to see what happens with history and hear all about it. So this is going to be a very interesting weekend. There's a lot of theories going around about what happened to these two guys. I've got a couple of my own, but I'll keep those for another day. Maybe around a campfire at some stage, I reckon. But let's get on to Wonnangatta and we'll see how this weekend goes. It's going to be fantastic. Tiny town of here, smack on the Wonnangatta River. Beautiful spot, really nice, worth dropping in if you're ever heading through here. You can get fuel, petrol, diesel, a few last minute supplies if you need to. So I'm going to jump in here and grab a bit of lunch before we keep going up to the Howard High Plains, and we'll see how we go. Fair chance I know what lunch is going to be. Good old pie and sauce. Hopefully you've got a couple in the oven for me. People you run into in Wonnangatta. Well, that's lunch. Nice little stop off there this morning at the Wonnangatta General Store. Now to cross back over the Wonnangatta River here and head our way up toward Howard High Plains and see what it's like up there. We might start there tonight, otherwise we'll continue on down into Wonnangatta and grab a spot ready for the big weekend. Well, as you can see in front of me here, we've got a fair bit of smoke haze that's going on from a bushfire that's been burning up around this Wonnangatta area now for a couple of weeks. Now, it might look a bit dangerous, we shouldn't be up here, but we've done all the checks through the Parks Victoria website as we head into Wonnangatta. The tracks and the roads that we need to take to get in there are well and truly open. There are some closed tracks up here. We've got fire bombers up above us here that are still working in the area. But you know, this is just a reminder of what can happen when you leave a campfire burning, and this was started a few weeks ago by a campfire that was left going. Apparently it's still sort of pretty well under control here sort of thing at the moment, but you know, it's just sort of a bit of a burn off. They're still doing a lot of burn offs here to try and contain it a bit more. But it is 100% safe to be up in here. There's Parks Victoria guys all over the place. They're certainly assuring us that well and truly safe to come in. But just to say, always put your campfires out, because this is a stark reminder of what can happen if you leave your camp and the campfire's still burning. Just up here on the Howard High Plains now. We're going to drop into Howard Hut, have a bit of a look in there before we continue on to Wonnangatta. Now this is where John Bamford was found up here. He was found in this vicinity, shot in the back of the head. Pretty brutal way to go, I reckon, but this is where he was found. Now I got me sort of my own theories about John Bamford, and just in simple terms, I reckon he was just wrong place, wrong time. So I'll leave you with that thought, but that's my take on little old John Bamford. Wrong place, wrong time. Righto, get down and have a look at that. Just rolling out of Howard Hut there. Now we'll make our way down to Wonnangatta Station. We're going to spend the weekend. find out a bit more about this intriguing murders, unsolved murders they are, that happened 100 years ago. So, going to be in for a big weekend. One I'm really looking forward to find out a bit more about. Turn on to Zika Spur here. This is the final track that'll take us down into Wonnangatta. And this is not a bad little track, this one, especially when it's dry like this at the bottom half. If it was raining, it's a fairly hard packed clay based track, so you'd certainly want to be careful on this one, particularly if after a rain. Fantastic weekend we've had here at Wonnangatta. Learning all about the history and seeing a bit more about it. It's such a fascinating story what's gone on down here for those 100-year anniversary of the murders that happened all way back then. They're still unsolved. I think they'll always remain unsolved, and that's how it has to be. But anyway, we've had a great weekend here, so now it's time to move on. We're going to head towards Dargo for the day. See how we go from there.